Unconventional.
You're such a fool.
That's
honestly.
what we are.
That's so not the vibe.
DK Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, you know what I like about DK? He represents the NFL player's confidence level. To be at that level of football, you have to have a certain level of confidence, right? But there's a time when confidence meets reality. He said he's going to be running in an open track and field meet with some professionals. And I came across an Instagram post where...
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, and people are debating what's he going to run. And some people are saying, oh, he'll run like 10-2, 10-3, or he'll run like 10-4, 10-5. And people that are saying 10-5 or 10-6 are getting roasted. They're like, how is he going to run that slow? Blah, 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 blah.
You know your boy Stu?
He's going to run, the fastest he'll run is 10-8.
Well, you know your boy Stu
McMillan.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure I saw a tweet of him saying he thinks he's going to run between 10-7 and 10-85.
Perfect.
And
Big up the one named Stu. Yo, I rate Stu because, I'm saying he'll run 10-8 or higher.
Yeah.
And which is decent for someone who's not a sprinter.
Yeah. I mean, he said he's really he said, you know what, that's what he thinks he'll run, but he really respects him for going out there, putting himself out there and getting a little bit of hype. It's exciting. I think it's good.
It is. I think so too. But you know how when you're having a debate, you don't really want the answer? You know what I'm saying? Like when they see him get licks, it's going to be like, oh, okay.
I know.
It's real now. So now it's not going to be a debate anymore. It's going to be like, well, this discussion is silly.
Yeah.
I like having the debate, but maybe another football player is going to be like, well, you shouldn't have put DK in the first place. I should be the one. And they can come in and get licks. Of course they're going to do that. Well, I hope that happens because it's not going to be pretty. No. What happens is not going to be pretty. And if they put him with the real pros...
Because we're always just getting, shit upon, right? Everyone just thinks that, they can just come in and, you guys ain't even proper... world-class athlete. LeBron's the best world-class athlete. Or, the joke that we heard the other day about that dude, the quarterback, Tom Brady.
Oh, Tom Brady being the best athlete
of all time. Come on. For real, guys? Really, no. But anyway... Every year we hear someone coming out saying this person from the NFL is going to come and do this and that, right? And it's usually always about the 40-yard dash.
Well, I think most people don't understand the distance of 40 yards. Because 40 yards might seem like a long distance to a lot of people, and it's almost half of a football field. So it seems like it's a lot. 40 yards is roughly...
36.5 meters is 40 yards. I've just used my unit converter.
Wicked. That
I have on my phone because I like these things. I like to find out all these different things.
Respect.
Yeah.
However you slice it, it's 1/3 of the 100-meter race. Okay. So whatever they're doing at that time is usually all they have. And then they still got to maintain for 3 times that or 2 more times that, which is where most football players are going to fall apart. Now he ran a 4:33 in his 40-yard dash. At 30 meters or 40 yards, you're nowhere near top speed.
No.
Male or female.
No.
World-class sprinters aren't even running yet.
No. Justin Gatlin's 4.42 40-yard dash split recorded during the gold medal winning 9.8 500-meter run would convert to a 4.17 40-yard dash by football standards, because what they were saying, there's 3 different ways of recording the 40-yard dash, so it's really difficult to say who's the fastest ever, because obviously there's hand timing, which we know is super fast, and then you have electronic timing where someone starts it with the hand timer, but then they've got the beam that stops the time, and then you've got the track time where the pistol goes and then the beam stops the time. But there's loads of research that they're when the pistol goes, the reaction after that fact of the human is usually about 0.25 slower.
0.25?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. When they actually press the gun and obviously sound traveling and it's basically 0.25 slower to get the equivalent 40-yard dash time. Because remember, it will go instantaneously as the pistol goes. And you know what I was thinking? If you're in lane 8 and you're in lane 1, right next to the dude, that's going to make a difference. And when you hear it to when anyone else hears it.
I've thought about that too.
You know, sound travels and it's time. So by the time the human ear hears it and reacts to it, it's already been recorded by 0.25, apparently.
Oh, why have I not thought about this? The 40-yard dash isn't off of reaction. It's off movement.
Mm-hmm. That's a huge, complete different world.
That's enormous. So then even timing of 40 yards from actual 100 meters that a sprinter's done, like Justin's example, it's not accurate because it's probably off of his reaction time. Like you'd have to do it from his movement.
Yeah, from his first movement. That's massive.
I have trouble envisioning DK Metcalf even beating Elaine Thompson or Shelly-Ann Fraser or Sha'Carri Richardson.
Listen.
I can't see it happening.
I saw someone tweet that today, like, this dude will be in struggle mode to keep up with the top female sprinters.
And that's not a diss.
It's not a diss.
They're fast. They're extremely fast.
Elaine Thompson just ran 10:76 the other day, like yesterday or whatever it was. Yeah, so she's gone to number 2 on the world list in the 100 meters at the moment, behind Sha'Carri Richardson.
Oh, I saw the race actually. I didn't know the time though.
Oh yeah, I need to follow that Sha'Carri on Twitter. I want to know. I need to see some of her responses. I haven't followed it yet, but I just wanted because I need to see her responses because I wonder what she'll say to that. But
I would love to see a beef in the female sprints.
What with the Jamaican?
Especially with
the Jamaican
man.
And no, dude, that would be doing too much.
Mare Kisteet. I found out that the name's actually Sha'Carri.
What do we say, Sha'Carri?
We say Sha'Carri. I've been saying Sha'Carri from time.
Sha'Carri. Do you know what? Wow.
I don't want her to correct me. I feel like she would.
Oh my God, she would.
In a heartbeat.
And she would.
Big up the one named Sha'Carri.
Sha'Carri. At the moment, she's number 1 in the world, 10:72.
But I feel like they would handle DK.
Listen, I think they would give him a massive run for his money.
I think that would be entertaining to watch.
Why don't they do that?
That's what they should do.
Forget the men. You've got no chance, dude. Yeah. There's no chance.
At least,
listen, do you know what? He should enter like the Surrey County Championships. He might have a chance. You lot don't know. Not everyone knows that. Only the British people know what that is. But we have county championships like for your county.
Right.
Manamansel might run 10:8 to win. But
I wonder if he's even gone on a track to really see what he can do.
What do you mean? Did you not see on... I don't know what you saw on Instagram because I'm not on Instagram.
We dropped the spikes?
Yeah, but the man walked across... Like, all you saw was feet walk into shot and then drop the spikes on the track with his bare foot and then carry on walking. But I think he's been doing his little thing on there. He must have because there's no chance. But you know what? I do have to say big ups because... Literally, he is really putting himself out there. And what is it? Is it the USATF?
The USATF Golden Games.
Mm-hmm. When is it? This weekend?
The 9th, this weekend.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. This is exciting. I feel like that we should do a little bit more like this. Like a few more little...
crossovers.
Yeah, because it's fun.
I want to know who else is running. If it's any of those men who have run 9 seconds, it's going to look really, really bad.
Do you know what I hope they don't do? I hope they don't have a really... shitty field and then like allow him to.
But how shitty could the field be? No, and they're not going to be running 10. There's not going to be 10-3 sprinters there. But if they were, they'd slap him.
Do you know what makes me laugh as well? Like I saw a result yesterday of a 17-year-old who ran 9:99.
Oh yeah.
17-year-old boy who ran 9.
Yeah.
9:9.
Arian Knighton.
Yeah, something like that.
Went pro at 17. And a lot of people were questioning whether or not he should have or not. And then Jalen Slade also went pro, but I believe he's older. Yeah, seeing them run that, they did that at Claremont too. And they're running with the mans. Like Johan Blake was in that race.
I saw White Lightning in the race too.
Yo,
he ran like 10:03.
Adeline won. Yo, he looked wicked.
With the white boy. See now, I rate that little guy more than I do that other one that we were talking about.
Why?
I just like the fact this man came out. His Twitter name is White Lightning.
Well, they can battle for that name, but I think
Matthew,
notoriety-wise, might have the edge.
Yeah. Well, you know,
if I was that guy, I'd be dying to get on a track with bowling,
right?
So that everyone could know, like, yo, this is really what's going on, or this is really what's going on.
That's how they were going to say it. This is really what's going on. So, like, isn't football like one of the American football, we call it, one of the biggest sports in the US.
Yeah. And everyone knows about it.
And
people in
the
that
stadiums
sport
are crazy.
know it so much that they think they know about anything that has to do with anything. So running, jumping, throwing.
Yeah.
They would think they know everything about it because they know about American football, which has all those attributes. So track and field has all of those things. So I know about all that stuff too, because I understand American football inside out. And DK Metcalf could make the U.S. Olympic team and win the Olympics if he felt like it.
And you know when you see those shots of like a football player running and they kind of like jump over and another football player to kind of then carry on running, they're like, oh my gosh, he could win the Olympics in the long jump. And you're like, or he could be like Olympic high jumper with that jump. And even the sports commentators are saying this stuff. And you're like, why? I think, you know what? I think it's the sports commentators who big up that sport so much and feed false information to the fans that the fans actually really believe.
Well, most commentators don't really understand track and field either. Have you ever heard of Bob Costas?
No.
Okay, very famous broadcaster, NBC, maybe CBS, maybe all of them. But he's done basketball games, he's done football, he's done track, he's done everything.
Exactly.
But a very good speaker, very good presenter. Very eloquent, great voice. I'm going way back, but when they were talking about the whole Donovan Bailey, Michael Johnson, fastest man in the world issue, Bob Costas' theory was, well, I mean, come on. If you divide 19.32 by 2, it's much faster than 9.84 seconds. So me saying that Michael Johnson was the fastest man in the world was based off that. And he's saying this with a straight face, that if you cut it in half, well, duh. But he's not taking into account, the second half of the race, you're not overcoming inertia. You're not coming from a standstill and then getting to top speed. You're already near top speed and you're just maintaining. So obviously it's going to be faster. I mean, most announcers feel like they know what they're saying and will say it like they know what they're saying. And the people that hear it will all of a sudden, with hearing the conviction of these broadcasters and announcers, feel like this is the gospel. So yeah, that's what it is. Then you take into account someone who's actually a football analyst and may have watched some track and field, didn't watch as much track and field as him, who didn't know what he was talking about. So they know less and are saying the same type of foolishness, right?
But then you also get these football players coming out saying this, talking bare trash about how they can do this and that to like this person and that person. And you're like...
Yeah, they need to be set straight.
They really do.
There's been some fast American football players. I've run against some fast American football players. Trinidad Holiday ran 10-0. Terrence Newman, I think he ran 10-1 a few times.
There's some seriously fast football players. Marcus Goodwin.
Oh, yeah.
He's a football player.
Really good athlete.
Was he for the 49ers or something? Went to the Olympics, did really well at the Olympics. Long jump.
Yeah. But
great
those are phenoms. Those are...
But that's what I'm saying.
It's not a regular thing. Most football players are going to get annihilated.
Athletes that they're right now, Olympic, that were athletics as their first sport, if they decided to choose football...
Oh, yeah.
Would be like phenomenal football players.
It wouldn't even make any sense.
That's what I'm saying. So we know that there's going to be other athletes in different sports that could be world champions, Olympic champions, Super Bowl champions as part of a team, or NBA champions. We know that if you're at an elite level, you have certain physical attributes and skill, right, to be able to get to the highest level of your sport. Therefore, in another sport, there's a very good chance that if you chose that as a young athlete and decided to go that route, you'd probably do really well in that sport as well. But right now, we're not even talking about that. We're talking about right now, this man against this man. You're taking liberties. Don't be disrespectful, right? Don't try and come into our sport talking about you're going to do this and you're going to do that, because you're not. Yeah. Stop talking, right? Did you see that thing? When was it? Last year. There was some talk about Grant Holloway. I think it was around the combine time or something like that.
110-meter hurdler, world champion.
Yeah, world champion. I think it was talking about some football guy saying he's going to do whatever. And Grant Holloway's like, I want to race this guy, right? Because they're chatting rubbish. They're trying to disrespect our sport. I'll take him out. There was a guy on Twitter, I think it was a random guy that just commented, right, to Grant. Hi, Grant. I'm not quite sure where you fall into this conversation, ?
Wow.
It was referring to the fastest NFL players competing at the Olympic track races. It was right. Listen. Obviously, DK or Tyreek would beat you or me. We ain't world-class athletes. This is what this person wrote, right? This is what this person wrote. It went off. Like, there was thousands of comments. Like, dude, do you know who you're talking to?
As a hurdler, he would annihilate them.
But he's annihilate.
Not, but listen, it wouldn't even be close.
But listen,
it's funny to think about that happening.
So he quoted the tweet and was like, "I'm not a world-class athlete," right? And that just put that as the listen. That guy, Jack Willihan, he got bombarded.
I hope that's a burner account.
He got bombarded with so many, like, dude, did you check his bio before you made this ridiculous comment? Anyway, this was November 2020, right? Then in February, John Mulkeen, he's called Statman John on Twitter. He's like the statistician. He works for World Athletics and
big up to one named Statman John.
Yes, you know, he does a lot of does all the amazing stats. He comes out with these stats. He pulls them out. I don't even know how he comes up with this stuff. Obviously, it's his job, but he's really good. So he writes after the World Indoor that a reminder of Grant Holloway's insane set of PBs: 60 meters, 6.50. That's fleeing.
Yes.
60-meter hurdle, 7.35. And this is before he just broke the world record of 7, and he ran 7.29. 110 hurdles, 12.98. Ridiculous. Under 13, anything under 13. Long jump, 8.17.
Jeez.
Right? His best 4x4 split, 43.74.
Yeah,
and 43.88, age 19 years old. 44.91 indoors. And he's a sprint hurdler.
I wonder why he hasn't run 100.
He is a genius, Bolt-esque, freak of nature type talent, right?
Yeah,
so this is what this guy's put. And then Grant makes me laugh, and then he quotes his tweet saying, "But I'm not a world-class athlete." But the point is, how is this guy even having the cheek to put himself in the same bracket as Grant?
Tweet.
But this is where those weird NFL football fans, right? Really think they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's got to the point where it really needs to just be shut down. And I don't understand why it hasn't been done.
Well, that's why I'm excited about this competition coming up. Because it's going to be right there for everyone to see. I just want the race to finish. Like, I don't want anyone pulling up. I'm not worried about the track people pulling up because there's like 7 of them that are going to be racing against him. I don't want him pulling up injured or anything like that because then we got to hear, well, he finished the race, so we don't know what happened. Because I know he's going to try to hit a gear that's not there. Once he comes out that dry phase and he sees all that track left and he sees what's happening around him, he might try to shift to a gear that he's never tried to shift to before.
No, you know what's gonna happen? Do you know what's gonna happen?
Hamstrings everywhere, dog.
Bare tension. You know when you get out and you're really, really high, and then all of a sudden you just feel the ease of someone just go, and then all of a sudden, you know what? The automatic human response is to try to run faster. Right. So then what trying to run faster does, and even with world-class 100-meter runners being pulled into someone else's race, the minute that happens is tension and restriction. So all of that nice, what you need to run fast, right, which is relaxed muscles to be able to generate speed in an optimum way, have the range of motion, all of these different things. You need that to create the stride length. The minute you go and it gets tense, the arms get tense, the shoulders come up to the ears, you're done. Yeah. You know that's going to happen.
Absolutely. And you know what else? You know, like when you actually have the speed right in front of you, it looks different than on TV. When he's warming up and he see these men blaze on the blocks, so feeling them whoosh by on the track. No, he's gonna be like, hold on a second, this is a bit different than what I expected. It's gonna be a eye opener for him that he can go and tell his friends about. I don't think he has any track people around him to set him straight as far as this is concerned. His friends either don't know about track or they don't care about him, or they want him to do this publicity stunt. This is like a Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather thing.
Oh my God, don't get me started. You know what I feel like.
That's along those lines where he's going to realize that there's levels.
But you know what? I've got to give this guy props. He has got balls of steel.
Logan, you're talking about?
Dude, it's dangerous.
It is. But I think that Floyd's going to carry him. I think he's going to make it entertaining for the fans and handle business when it's necessary.
If Mayweather does come out and it's like a business thing and they do a little like boxing and they let him, you're just giving other people ideas that they actually have got a chance. I want to see a real thing. This is the thing. I really want to see a real fight. I just want him to come out and give him one box. Just not like one shot and then just end it. Stop this. People stop this ridiculousness. And that's what I hope happens in this track meet. I've got this story.
You're about to say long story short.
Whatever.
Say long story short.
Okay, my stories are never short. So, I have this story.
Hold up. That should be like a thing.
What?
Like long story short.
Okay. Like a story.
We got bare stories in track and field, our careers, whether it was us, other people.
So many stories.
And even when we're talking, our stories keep coming out, but like there's some times where there's like real stories that have to do with what we're talking about.
Oh, so we should do it in every show.
It should be like a thing.
Because most people don't get to hear the stories.
No. And that's why a lot of people don't really know or understand track and field, because we don't really hear these stories that people talk about all the time. In other sports, you hear people tell these wartime stories in just sports, you know what I'm saying? In track and field, it's the best stories. Yeah, this is a thing.
This is a good idea. I think we should do it. One. Okay. So, long story, not short. I think that's what it should be called.
Long story, not short.
Yeah.
You prefer that?
I do.
Long story, not short. It's the truth.
It is, because I can't tell a short story.
I mean, me neither. But
who wants to hear a short story? How boring is that?
Get the details. We want to hear the ins and outs, the ups and the downs.
Yeah.
So, long story, not short.
Long story, not short. First of all, I have to say, at the time, I found it so disrespectful. Like, I was like, and then obviously that's how things transpired that way. But anyway, there was this guy one time, this is when I was competing still, and there was this guy I always see down the track. Cool. He's doing his thing. I don't know what he's doing. So one day he comes up to me and he asked me, would you train me? I play volleyball and I'm trying to make some sort of team. I think he was trying to make the French team in the volleyball or something, right? I don't know. And he's like, I need to get my vertical up so that when I do the tryouts, you need to hit a certain vertical. So I was like, all right, cool. So I worked with this guy for about a month. There's only so much you can do. What I really liked about him was his dedication. He was very dedicated. He would come down the track all the time. I'd see him there really going in. But physically, he was physically strong, but movement-wise, he just wasn't elite. There would be a lot of work that was needed, put it that way, right? He was very adamant he wanted to work on his vertical. So I passed on some knowledge and some training that I felt like would be the best, most efficient use of his time in the month that we had, which wasn't very long. So he goes, he clearly doesn't make it in that, but that's that. Fast forward a year or so, I don't know. I'm down, I don't see him again, but then I'm down at the track and he's down there training with these guys that run track. So I'm thinking now he's got these guys to try and now do something with him. Speak to him. I hear he's like training now. He wants to be an athlete. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, you get all of these type of people. Cool. I don't have no problem. I think it's great. You know, if you're inspired, whatever. 6 months later, I'm in the gym. Now, our gym's an Olympic lifting gym. So there's a lot of trash that is talked in this gym, right? You've got every single athlete from so many different sports training with our coach, Keith Morgan, who's an Olympic weightlifting coach. And it's just a really fun environment, amazing place to like train, everyone there doing the same thing. It's cool. Yeah. So we're down there. He's talking to me. He's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, hey, what's up? And then he's like, no, not much. I said, what have you been up to? He said, oh, nothing. I'm just, you know, training now because, you know, I'm a long jumper. So I thought, oh, that's nice. Maybe I inspired him or something, you know, to do long jump, right? I was like, okay, cool. That's fine. The group that he was training with were like, let's just say they were like county level athletes. Okay. So they were never going to be world class or even national level, probably. No. Okay. But I love them because they train and they work hard, and it's just, you know, but that's what I love about our sport. You can do different levels and you can really be passionate and put everything into it. So it's great. I respect those guys as much as, you know, and they've got jobs. They've all got jobs as well. So they're doing both things. So anyway, he's training with that group of guys. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, oh, so you're going to do long jumps? And yeah. I said, so you're training with those guys? He said, yeah. I'm getting ready for the Olympics. No, my head just cocked in a way. Like, you know, like, I can't even explain. Like, it just kind of cocked. Like, huh? At first, I was trying to think what Olympics he was talking about. Because because this time I think it was winter 2007, and I was getting ready for the Olympics in 2008 in Beijing. So this was 2007 winter. So I was like, what Olympics? I literally had to ask him what Olympics. He's like, Beijing. So I'm like, well, in what event? And he said, the long jump. I said, when did you start long jumping? He's like, this winter I've just started long jumping, and so now, respectfully, as much as I could, I was like, well, because in my head, at first, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit like a little bit of an irritation inside me, because I'm like, are you disrespecting the event that I do that much, that you feel like you can train for like a couple months and you're going to make the Olympic Games? Now, at the time, the A standard to go to the Olympics is 8:20.
Right.
In 2012, I think 8:30 won the gold medal. Greg Rutherford won the gold medal with 8:30. Right. 8:20 is the standard just to go to the Olympics. This man's like, I'm trying to make the Olympics in the long jump. And he only just started training. So I got a little bit like, eh. Now at this stage, right, it's like a little bit of a crossroads. Do you just go with the, oh, cool, congratulations, good luck, do your thing? Or do you go with, look, don't waste your time? I'm all about like being honest. I don't want this guy wasting his time. And I just want him to have some facts, right? It takes this amount of time. It's good that you're doing this, but the likelihood of you making this Olympics is really slim. I mean, in the future, let's see. And maybe it was a bit of my ego that jumped in just to put him in his place. Was that because you were kind of offended too? Yeah. Okay. But I was in my ego though, much bigger then, because, a lot of athletes, we have our ego. Yeah. So it was a bit like, this guy's like saying it to me as if to say like it's... Well,
technically it's disrespectful.
This is what I feel like.
Because if you feel like, yo, I'm just going to try a thing and just jump into the pinnacle of what this person dedicates their lives to.
Like it ain't nothing.
Yeah. Let me just try a thing and just get on this Olympic team. Yeah.
I'm just going to do a little quick thing. So I kind of did get a little irked, right? But I was respectful with it. But I was like, blam. I wasn't going to like butter it up and make him...
And you said this team.
Yeah.
Like in 2012, if he had more prep, he'd be okay.
No, like in 20, you're not going to make this one, but maybe the next one or the one maybe, after. Man. Yeah, like whatever. That was me trying to be nice.
That was being polite. That was being very, very polite. I commend you.
Because I don't want to just... Yeah, but I don't want to just kill the man's dreams.
Well, you still did, but I'm just saying it was better than just being like, you're not going to make this one or the next one or the next one.
Dude, honestly... One of the things with that Ating Mu that I love is when you look at someone, she's the 18-year-old who's like run ridiculous, 157 in the she's ridiculous. When I saw her for the first time, I get excited when I see someone physically who can just do crazy stuff. It's very exciting to me. You look and you're like, wow, every attributes, physical, the way she moves, you can see it. She's 18, 19 years old.
So nothing about this guy was impressive.
Zero. But even from before, remember from before? Dude. Now, but I'm not an expert at volleyball, innit? But I can kind of see, and you're a big man. It would take a lot of undoing bad habits and redoing. It's like, I'm not saying you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
There's not much you can develop at this stage. Really your difficult. Strength isn't going to develop. Your explosiveness isn't going to develop. Your body isn't going to develop anymore. You kind of are what you are.
That's what I saw when he wanted to do volleyball. The guy basically got extremely offended that I said that he wasn't going to make it.
He was offended.
Yeah, he got offended. Right. And he said, how dare you tell me that I'm...
offended on those levels.
Oh, yeah. How dare you tell me that I'm not going to make it? You're someone that everyone looks up to. And for you to come and say this, you have a responsibility to... I said, but I've also got a responsibility to be honest. What do you want me to do? Lie to you? And he's like, do you know what? Well, watch, I'm about to show you. And he started getting all rude to me, right? So now we've gone into different territory. And back in the day, let's just say I had a way. That was rhyming. Poet didn't know it.
Oh, wow.
I'm, let's just say, opinionated. I'm feisty. I've got an opinion. He knows. They know that. People who know me. And the funny thing is, the guys that he trains with have known me for years. One of the guys, this guy called Josh, 100 meter, he's known me since I was like 12 years old. He was looking at this dude like, don't do it, don't. Like,
oh, serious?
No, don't go there with Jade.
Threatened.
But the problem is, if you're going to step to somebody you better step correct. You can't just step to someone in a way and have nothing to back it up. So this guy started telling me about watch what I'm going to, that's a threat to me. Like, watch what are you going to do? And then I got even more into my ego. So I'm like, look, dude, honestly, I don't think you would jump further than me this year. So I was being nice earlier. Like, I was actually trying to be efficient with your time, right? Now, I'm just going to be real. There's no chance in any world that you're going to make the Olympics. Never in the long jump. And so then he got really angry and then he started going off, you're this, that, watch what I'm about to do. So anyway, we got into this backwards and forwards. You know, it ended, he went off and I went off, whatever. Long story, not short. He jumped like 650.
Oof.
And
What'd you jump?
think I jumped 681 that year. I jumped a PB. It's all right.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, but it's not like...
Where you're jumping distances.
Well, not that great, is it? Because I didn't... But anyway, the long story, not short, was that this dude just comes out of nowhere thinking that he can come and challenge what mans are doing. 820 ain't no joke of a distance, but yeah, he thinks he's going to do it. People might have different opinions on how I handled that, but like, to be honest, we're sick and tired of people feeling like they can come in and just step to us. Like, he clearly got shown. I just looked at him. At the end of that season, I saw him. I looked at him. I just gave a little chuckle and kept it moving. I don't need to say no more. I didn't say one thing to him.
Well, the chuckle you didn't really have to do either.
I wonder if that's what their mans are going to do when they drop a little, like... Even if they drop a little 10-1 on this man and he runs 10-8 or 10-7.
Honestly, I don't even think they're going to think much of it. I think, and I don't necessarily feel like we need to bury him into the ground. It's going to be bad enough as it is, but I would love to be corrected. Imagine he came out and gave licks. Ooh. I would love for him to...
It'd be kind of cool.
It would be pretty cool. But that would never happen.
But do you think, though...
What I would like is for some other football players to feel like, nah. I don't even know why he was in it. I should have been in that. So that we can like continue to show and then fizzle out the argument. But I just want it to be shown.
But do you think that he just wants to see, or is he coming out like he's about to show these sprinters?
USATF put this tweet out and it said, for everyone asking if we have a spot open on our relay team for DKM14, that's his Twitter handle, DK Metcalf, at NFL players are welcome to come test their speed against real speed next year at the Olympic trials. That's what USATF said. And then he responded and said, see you there.
Ooh, so this has been a little brewing thing. So he's actually...
that was back on October 26, 2020. After this weekend, I don't think we're going to see him there.
What I do like about it, and where I'm not going to hate on him, is because football has some of the most like dedicated fans, like one of the biggest fan bases. So I feel like it's really good to bring some of those fans in to watch our sport, and then potentially bring in some more fans that like necessarily wouldn't even bother look and watch. You know what I mean? Other than at the Olympic Games. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like it's cool. It's like the other day did you see that tweet with Magic Johnson? He loves track and field.
I thought that was great.
And he was like, when are the Olympic trials? I want to watch or whatever. And now everyone who loves basketball is going to be like...
Right. So the crossover's happening.
Yeah.
Even with Kevin Hart coming out, putting that shout out for the US team athletes.
That was super
That was
cool.
big. Yeah, I was saying, I was responding to someone asked me, what do I think the Canadian equivalent would have been? I was like, it's got to be Drake. And Drake should come out and give a 1-2 to the Canadian team and, give a shout out.
Well,
and
that would be kind of cool.
Of course it would be cool, because
every one of the most famous people in each country comes out and does a little for their team.
Of course.
Who would it be for GB?
GB, it would be...
We have just too many people.
Michael Dappa.
Who the heck is that?
Man's not hot.
Oh, no.
Come on.
No.
Come on, he's crossed over. You got to pick someone who's crossed over worldwide. No. Like, everyone knows who that guy is.
No.
That's my opinion.
He was funny, but no.
Oh, Idris Elba?
You got a little Idris there.
Idris would be a good one. I'd agree with that.
He'd be a good one. But,
But yeah,
Drake would be good.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart is and he's really already done it.
Yeah. I seen him race some LSU college athletes in a parking lot.
Really?
Yeah, I'll show you the YouTube clip. They raced.
Oh,
yeah, but he cheated though.
Do you know how tiny this guy is?
Yeah.
He is. I know he always talks about it, but if you ever actually met him in real life, you will be absolutely shocked.
Yeah, he's little. But he doesn't care. I rate that. He's kind of like, Well, either way, big up the one named Kevin Hart.
No, I do like him. Listen, I ain't hating. I am not hating on Kevin. He's funny. I like him. One of the things that gets on my nerves is when I used to, you know, go out and they're, oh, you're an Olympian. Oh, okay. What event do you do? Long jump. What, is that it? What do you mean is that it? Do you understand how hard it is to do long jump? People think you just run and jump. And I'm like, yeah, you do. But to run and jump far? That's a whole different kettle of fish. And even sprinters and jumpers, we always get into it, right? Because all you do is run.
Well, you guys are very disrespectful. But
well, no, that's because
more hate.
We have to technically run as well as a 100-meter runner. We have to do everything you do. But then we have to hit a board 20 and then transfer that horizontal speed into vertical. That transitional bit is so difficult.
Oh, so you guys are running as well as 100-meter sprinters now?
Well, yeah,
you're being very disrespectful.
Some people, yeah. Carl
You're
Lewis.
being very disrespectful.
Carl Lewis.
She brought out Carl Lewis.
Tiana Madison, or Tiana Bartoletta, used to be formerly Tiana.
All right, man.
Like 10-8.
You sound like these football players bringing out these one-offs.
No, but that's what I'm saying. There's 10-8. No, but it's true. If you can get that transition, there's very few. But that's why any Dwight Phillips. But Dwight Phillips was a really, really good. He ran like 6:46 in the.
No, he's a legit sprinter. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, there's a few people who can do that. But that's why every single sprinter can't just come out and jump.
Well, a lot of them feel like they could.
But they could.
That's disrespectful.
Did you not see that Bolt thing?
That was hilarious. I did jump 704 back in my
God,
day
every
when I
single
was in high
time you
school.
always...
I decided to do a little bit of long jump, you know what I'm saying? But I could legit jump. I was dunking on mans in high school playing basketball, and I was a 1-foot jumper, and you know, it's just... I feel like I could have gotten that path.
704 is about 23 and a half feet, just over 23 and a half feet.
Respect. Bolt's long jump, wow.
No, but I think he was joking, but you know,
he wasn't joking, but he wasn't in the shape he was before.
No, but I'm telling you this, but even from that, you can just see people who naturally they've never really long jumped. You see them tell them run and jump, and you can see they've got the basics. He definitely didn't have the basics.
Nothing basic.
He doesn't, he's like, no, he's not. Do you know what's hilarious about this conversation? Is that this is the only place that there should ever be anyone saying backwards and forwards about who's better and who's not better. In the track and field world, that conversation always goes on. Who's the best this or who's the best that? Don't think you can come from the outside and think you can come involved and like say you're better than this or better than that. It doesn't, no. An NFL player against the fastest 100, it's just...
There's no point in even putting those two together in a race.
So I guess we'll see.